Stay tuned until the end of the episode. We'll talk strategy for this pesky workout.
Strict THROWDOWN!
On this week's Throwdown, we have Majestic Mike demo the workout.
We've got strict handstand push-ups and squat cleans.
And we release these workouts right here on YouTube every Thursday at, give me that banana peel, 1 p.m. That was the worst throw ever.
This week's Throwdown is a 12-minute AMRAP. Climb the ladder style.
Climb.
You keep going.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10,
We appreciate!
etc. of strict handstand push-ups, but you're always doing 2 squat cleans after each set.
And if you want to get on the leaderboard, look in the description down below. There, you'll also find a warm-up and movement standards for this workout.
We just started, or we're about to start, our new training cycles in TTT Compete and TTT Fitness. If you want to get in the program, get in now. We're giving 20% discounts off for the next week.
Sign up by October 31st!
Sign up by Halloweeny.
This week's demo is Mike Needleman. He is a, almost said sanctional. Sanctionals don't exist anymore. A semi-final level athlete. He competed at MAC this past year. He crushes his workouts. Let's go watch him. Let's
He's
check it
also
out.
a dancer.
3, 2, 1, 0.
And go!
All right, handstand push-ups.
Starts easy with only 2.
Yeah.
Most people will be able to do at least 2 of them.
These type of workouts, this almost feels like a death by workout to me, where it's like,
Yeah.
it's not that many reps to open, but it gets really hard really fast.
Well, yeah, I would say 2 things. One, the bar is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So for most people, this is going to be quite challenging. For Mike, he can squat clean somewhere around 350, so a little bit easier for him.
Pretty dense at the beginning of squat clean, so it's almost like a pay-to-play type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the 4th barbell in a workout like 19.2 or 16.2, which most people in the world, myself included, don't even get to.
Yeah.
And most people, this might be above your 1 rep max. So you're gonna basically just scale this to a similar percentage so that the barbell feels as heavy for you as it feels for him, but at a different strength level.
Yeah, and that's a great way to train too. So you can still get a good test in, but you're also not just staring at the bar the entire 12 minutes.
Yeah, and this is kind of a workout with a bottleneck in both movements. I know people are going to be bottlenecked by it being really heavy and hard, and by just the volume of handstand push-ups that you have to do.
Yeah. For elite athletes, usually it's just one of those things. Usually you have those that are just really strong, but maybe too heavy for the handstand push-ups, or those that are smaller that are good at handstand push-ups, but maybe the barbell slows them down. And of course, there's a top tier, maybe like a Travis or Noah, who can
Or
do
a
fast
Max.
on both.
Me,
Or
this
a
max?
Correct.
So he's pretty rhythmic here in terms of how fast he's lifting these. I mean, his hands are back on the barbell about 8 seconds after his first lift. So this maybe doesn't look like he's hustling because it's not a normal Metcon like double unders and burpees with fast movements, but these rest breaks are super, super impressive. So these movements, I think just both of them for Mike are strengths.
And last round, he already started breaking the strict handstand push-ups. You see, broke him again. I think that's smart, knowing for him, he knows that the barbell isn't really a bottleneck, so he is going to get into those really high rep sets of strict handstand push-ups.
These are types of Metcons that could show up in qualifiers that are more strength endurance management from my perspective than they are like breathing or respiration as like things we typically see of in the open. But these can get hard in a very different kind of way. They're
Yeah.
hard on your structure. You get to muscle failure on movements. So you have to figure out how to rest in these workouts to still average out a lot of total strength reps.
Max, you're running.
I know, in the background. And I'm trying to keep my 180 beats per minute stride.
Yeah.
I feel a lot more bouncier than I look.
You look great. I don't know what you're talking about. So how would you guys recommend someone, let's say that the barbell is a moderate low or heavy low, but you know you can do those at least for, maybe 12 or 16, 12 to 16 reps. How would you tell someone to break up the handstand push-ups?
Someone, who's someone? Is this
Yeah,
someone?
that's so
me?
A higher level athlete. I think the question I'm getting at is most people are going to see the handstand push-ups from like 2 to maybe 10 or 12 and say I can go really fast through those. But is that an advantage in a workout like this where you have to get back to the barbell so quickly early on?
I think this is going to be a workout that breaking it up into small sets right off the bat and taking extra rest time now so that way you don't get bottlenecked and get close to failure in the later sets for you, which like the later set for me might be the set of 10 because you've already accumulated 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That volume,
which is 30 reps.
That's actually a relatively high volume for me. That would probably take me, if I was fresh, 5 minutes or 4 minutes. But you know, for somebody like him, he's saving to go into the rounds of 12 and 14 and 16. So breaking it up, I think, just makes sense. There's not like a fast transition, back and forth type workout. It's more of a methodically plot your way through so that way you don't get to muscle failure on handstand push-ups.
And his capacity is, Perrin said, 25 to 30 unbroken
strict
handstand push-ups.
Very good.
Yeah, and he's breaking into 2s right now.
Yeah,
So.
to give the audience an idea, she also said that he can do 50 for time in under 3 minutes, which again is pretty elite. So you could see his are one slowing down already just because you are getting back to the wall quickly. He's on his set of 10 or 12, somewhere in there.
I was going to count this
yeah.
round.
You keep talking, we'll count.
So either way, I mean, like I just said, if Max went up to 10, that's 30 reps already in 4 minutes. That's pretty dense.
Yeah.
And then for an elite athlete that knows they're going to get into the 14s, 16s, 18s, even 20s, now you're talking about a ton of extra reps. So you do have to save something for those last few sets.
Yeah, so he's doing these in doubles. He's at 8 now, so we'll know what round he's in. He's definitely past the rounds of 8. But he's still taking 5, 6 seconds between these double sets, and I think that should give people a perspective. If he could do 30 unbroken, if you can only do 15 unbroken, you might be needing to do doubles on 20-second rests at this point in the workout.
Yeah.
12. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's on the 12s. So that's
Finishing
still
the 12.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's 42 reps that he just completed in 5 minutes, along with 10 squat cleans at 275. So that's pretty dense still, even though it looks like he's moving slowly.
Yeah, I think this combination pairing too could really challenge your midline. Just bracing for heavy cleans like that and then having to brace while you're upside down, that could be another kind of sneaky limitation where body positions just start to break down when you're upside down.
And you know, another thing for me is actually the front rack position. If I get forward and my shoulders are tired, it's really hard to get my elbows up. So that's another thing that you should think about.
And receiving a rep that heavy forward is going to cost a lot to save.
Yes.
A lot of
So-
energy. He actually did that, I think, in a round of 6, the round of 8. He had to step forward to catch one.
These still look
all I'm
really,
saying.
really smooth. So basically, he's just kind of kicking down into a squat position. I wouldn't do that because it's hard for me to breathe there. But if you can, I mean, that's a nice, easy way to kick down, maybe go on a knee and then kick back up. I mean, but he's doing them, 5 seconds rest in between these so far.
Yeah, so he just kicked down at the 6-second mark, back up at the 11. So these are doubles on a 5-second rest break. That's pretty quick because he's maintained that all the way through thus far and maintained a pretty quick transition back to the bar. So
And he still has about half of the workout left.
Yeah, he's just through halfway.
yeah, I'd say that this is going to be a very, very, very competitive score.
Yeah. One other consideration for those that are really good at handstand push-ups, but maybe not great at the squat cleans at that load, but they can still do it, is actually to go out and just basically move quickly through the handstand push-ups and give yourself more time. You just have to be really confident in kind of the 12, 14, 16, 18 range with the handstand push-up. So if I were doing this, I could still do anywhere from probably 45 to 50 unbroken strict handstand push-ups. I'm going to be going really fast. Okay, Mia. I'm going to be going really fast on the handstand push-ups, and then he's so fast on the squat cleans compared to what I would do. I would probably do it on the 30 seconds. So I would be much slower, but that's another alternative for those that maybe are a little bit better on the wall.
So if you're good at the handstand push-ups, you're basically banking time there and resting longer on the squat cleans.
Right, so then I'm just thinking it's an unbroken set of 10 handstand push-ups, but it's going to be a minute before I get back, and then I do an unbroken set of 12, and then 14, so on and so forth.
Yeah, this is, I heard you.
I was going to say he's very good at both movements compared to the masses, but this is more of a handstand push-up bottleneck for him, whereas for you it would be a squat clean bottleneck.
And maybe like a gymnast coming into the sport would feel more confident on the wall and less confident on the barbell, and a weightlifter would be the opposite. So I think you're going to have to strategize how you break it up just relative to your skill set. There's not going to be that many people, I think, that have a strength with the barbell and a strength with strict handstand push-ups like you're watching with Mike.
Yeah. So what would the percentage be on the squat cleans? Let's say 275 is too heavy for me. Where should I be?
I don't
Are
know,
you
my
gonna
phone.
Run the math here?
275 divided by 350, I can't do that in my head.
We'll tell everybody. I can do
I would
that.
say 75 to 80%.
You can see 78%.
Wow.
Good look at that, Mia. Well done.
You're a genius.
You can see
Nah.
Mike's body line on, at least on the last rep. Now I said it, that one was pretty good. But his body line started to break down a little bit. I think that actually could potentially be the limiter for people is as your midline starts to break, you're pressing really hard and you're pressing yourself off the wall. So it could be hard to just keep going up and down vertically. He ended up kind of course correcting there, so he probably wasn't breaking down. It was probably just like a missed technical rep.
Yeah. This actually would be for someone that's good at handstand push-ups or has had enough time to practice, but I always play around with different hand positions and body positions so I don't get into that. Because even as I get fatigued, I'm arching like he is, but I'm finding new hand positions, maybe turning my hands out or turning them in, getting closer to the wall or farther away from the wall that allow me to be able to kind of break my body line, but not kind of stretch into that position where I'll fall off the wall.
His pace on the squat cleans is still really impressive.
Really good. And he's 9 minutes in. Should we talk about the Michael Jordan tongue while he's been going?
I know
Is that recommended? That's definitely not recommended on cleans because you bite your tongue off.
Oh, don't even say it. That would be so painful. Yeah, I mean, a 350 squat clean is also elite. He's elite in both of these. He's a sanctional level athlete, so that makes sense. I don't think most people move that fast.
Sanctionals are done.
Semifinals.
Semifinals, whatever, you know.
Sanctional finals.
Sanctional finals, yeah. Yeah, I think the bottleneck obviously here for him now is going to be just how fast can he get, and this is something he should be looking at the clock, but how fast can he get this set of, let's say, 16 or 18s done so they can get back to the barbell? Because the barbell doesn't look like an issue for him right now.
Yeah, this is going to be what I think happens to most people at the 6 minute mark in the workout,
Right.
where you got a set that's a little bit daunting in terms of the number, and your pressing is getting fatigued, your body line's fatigued, and you're just chipping away at the speed that you can. His rest breaks here, well, now he just went back to singles, are still super impressive to keep moving at this
Yeah,
point,
for
though.
sure. This is 10. I'm trying to figure out what round he's on.
Yeah, I'm going to say that maybe the 18s,
Yeah, I think
right?
maybe.
Yeah.
Well, you keep track.
Well, now I don't know if that was 11 or did I say 10 before that one? It's 10 or 11.
Also, can we notice that he has a towel in his pants? I was trying to figure out
I
what
thought
that
it was a diaper, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything.
That actually may be a wise choice if your hands get sweaty, especially for me. I drip so much sweat off my hands that my hands start slipping on the mat. So
Why would you put it on your butt?
well, then you could pull
So
it out
you always
real
have
fast.
it with you.
I don't know. I was trying to figure out for like 2 minutes what it was.
I was squinting looking at it as well. Is this helpful information for the audience? Mike, I'm sorry. I thought you were wearing a diaper. Yeah, I'm sorry.
At any rate, those that are watching, have a towel nearby, especially if it's hot where you're at.
All right. Did you keep count?
I think so. That is 16,
16,
but
yeah.
I wouldn't bet my life on it.
Okay.
No, I think that was 16, Mia.
Well, it's a 12-minute AMRAP. I think he's in the set of 20s. That's going to be my guess. We'll see.
Well, let's
And
see.
now he's at singles. Let's count this. So he finishes rep at 26. He's down on the floor at
18.
27. And then he's back up at 30. He's still taking 5-second rest breaks with singles. Adam actually does that.
I counted 19, so I don't know if that was around of 18 or
18 to
20.
20. We'll see. Mike, post on the leaderboard,
Yeah,
please.
we'll have your score there. No, I'll double check it, and I'll talk to you about it on the whiteboard.
He obviously knows where he's at in the workout. 10 seconds left. That was a really fast transition to
Yep.
squat clean.
Can he get one?
Let's go. Great job,
Nice.
Mike.
So this is a
Nice.
sprint finish.
Oh, look at
when you have,
Good effort, though.
That's really good.
that was real solid. That's a sprint finish with a Travis laughing.
Because he knows. He knows that feeling.
Yeah, good sense of urgency, good finish, very good execution, and I'll see you on the whiteboard.
That was amazing. How was it? Feel great right now. Shoulders can't feel them, so. Otherwise, mentally, I'm feeling good. Cleans really got like deceivingly hard in the catch because of the handstand push-ups. I think there's like, I got like 3 or 4 minutes in. I was like, oh man, I'm not even halfway done. So it's good though. Breaking up the handstand push-ups early has definitely helped me out. So. Whew.
Okay, so the workout is relatively simple in theory. We have 2 cleans every round, And for people, I think we talked about it in the demo, 80% of your 1RM could be a good scale. I also thought as a potential alternative, if you wanted to use loads that were relative to online qualifiers, 225, 145 would be the third barbell of a workout like 19.2, which was also 16.2, which had heavy repeat cleans. So maybe for an intermediate athlete, if you wanted to be on one of those actual weight selections, 225 could give you a percentage that was more relevant to the sport if you didn't want to use an actual percentage. For those, when you're talking about the time per reps, what Mike was doing, which would definitely be an elite time. So he's one of the best athletes in the world at the sport. He competed at semifinals. He has a really big clean and he's really good at handstand push-ups. So this is kind of a wheelhouse-based workout for him. And he was doing those reps on about the 10 seconds. For an intermediate or RX athlete, I put 15 to 45 seconds. So you're doing the rep on that period of time. And I have that kind of range there because it's really gonna be dependent upon how good are you at barbell cycling, how much are you gonna get bottlenecked by the handstand push-ups, and what percentage did you actually use to scale it? Like, or are you able to use 275 and you're able to clean 400 pounds, then that percentage might actually be lower for you and you're able to cycle relatively quick like an elite athlete, even if your overall fitness level is not that high. So this can be kind of a range for you to use to approach how fast you're doing cleans, but you also have to take into consideration that if you are gonna push the pace on the handstand push-ups like Mike did, then you need to be able to actually do the handstand push-ups on shortened rests because you're doing a set of 2, which isn't really bad, then maybe a set of 4 that's also not bad because you've only done 6, then 8, then 10. And when you get into that 10 round, a lot of people are gonna be bottlenecked because the density is gonna start to add up where you're gonna get slower in your rep cadence, your rest breaks are gonna get a little bit longer. If you're at that point, it almost might make sense to do one clean, take a longer rest, then do another clean, and then transition into the cleans versus having a sense of urgency here to just stand on the handstand push-up. So set your rest break relative to what your overall capacity is with the cleans, but also taking into consideration that you're returning back to the handstand push-up wall. For the handstand push-ups, my recommendation would be to try to set a fixed rest break. What it looked like, I don't know if this was his exact strategy, but it looked like Mike was on about a 5-second rest break strategy. He started with doubles every round, and then by the end of it, he started getting into singles. I do think that's gonna happen for most people, that you're gonna break down into smaller and smaller sets. If you can avoid singles in the later rounds, you're probably even more elite at handstand push-ups than he is, but I don't think for most people watching that that's gonna be realistic. So if you know an elite time is 5-second rest breaks with doubles for most of the workout, maybe you're doing doubles or singles, but you're just fixing that rest break at 10 seconds or 15 seconds or 20 seconds and giving yourself something to adhere to. Try to stick to that for as long as possible and only deviate it from it if you are getting to failure. And you'll notice that by a breakdown in your body line, slowing down in the actual handstand push-up reps, that will give you an indication that you're gonna need to say, okay, I was planning on taking 10-second rest breaks, but now I'm gonna change it. And you can either change it and do it by feel, or you can change it by going up to a higher incremental number. So maybe instead of doing your 10 seconds, once you start to slow down, be like, okay, now I'm gonna go on the 15 seconds. Now I'm gonna go on the 20 seconds and give yourself just a little bit more recovery time between reps. I would also recommend smaller sets right off the bat for everybody. So he did 2s right off the bat, and he's really good at handstand push-ups. Brandon talked about going maybe unbroken through earlier sets and taking longer times on the clean. I'd only recommend that for people that can do 40 plus strict handstand push-ups, which is a very small number of you. So I would say sets of 2s and 1s right off the bat. It's 12 minutes and so much of the work is strength training. You're better off just planning that there's gonna be more rest time in there. Also, if you keep data in your training, which you should, either through a coach or in our online training program, we have an app that you put your training results in. If you can find an actual training session where you've done 100 for time or a 5-minute AMRAP, look back at your data to try to give you some sort of a mindful way to estimate how deep into this workout you can actually get. If you know, okay, well, I've done 110 minutes, it gives you a frame of perspective that says, okay, well, I can get through X round in the workout. If you have no data and you're kind of going into it blind, it's a lot harder to strategize. So if you don't have that, I would recommend start keeping track of your training ASAP. All right, that's all I got. Good luck in the workout. I will see you in next week's throwdown at the whiteboard.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Patar in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button, let it be known, what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Patar.